Arkin, where are you?
Budapest.
Ah, city of cathedrals. Yeah, I see it right there on the bridge of the Danube, kid. I kind of like to talk to you, you know.
Well, why don't you email me?
Kind of like a, one-on-one, kind of a face-to-face type of thing, you know.
Do it personally?
Yeah, I'd love to see, you know what I mean, kid?
Let's do it.
How you doing, kid?
How are you?
Good.
Good. Good.
Hey, mental telepathy, astral projection, you know.
Here you are. Right. What do you want?
Kid, I'm putting together a little concern, which would enable those of us in our rarefied profession to avoid embarrassing overlaps.
What, like a union?
Yeah, more like a club. Work less, make more.
That's a great idea, but thank you, no.
No. Remember Burma?
Yeah, I do.
That nut General Quang. You were like a colonel in that army or something, right?
Yeah. He sold you all those tanks and shipped them to Alabama?
Yeah. T-34s, I took a bath on that.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's what I'm talking about, kid. We could be working together again, for God's sake. You know, making big money, killing important people. I want to structure an arrangement where you get, like, you know, shares, original shares on the ground floor.
And you would be the president of this organization, or maybe just a father figure to me.
Hey, if you want a father, I'll give you a spanking.
Yeah, forget about it.
Look, the employers are getting us a lot cheaper because there's so many more of us.
Well, after the Berlin thing, what can you do?
Soviet bloc collapse.
The market's flooded.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at consolidated bargaining, okay? Look, I don't want to play against you. This thing is real.
How real?
Moraga brothers, them East German ecstasy guys.
Oh, I don't like those guys.
Them butch Filipino ladies.
The little, the dwarf maid, the...
Stabbers. Queens at a hotel hit, you know.
You got a great crew.
Everybody's in.
Yeah, well, not me, so don't paw at me with your dirty little guild.
All right, well, you know, life's full of second chances. And here's chance 2 for you. You think about coming in with me. You ponder, okay?
I'll think about it.
Because either way, I'm gonna get you, kid.
Yeah, get what? Get back.
Hey, bing, 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 bang. Popcorn.
Yeah, whatever. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too, buddy. You like that Pacific Northwest country, all the mist and that up there?
Haven't been there in years.
Catch you.
Yeah, you look great. Nice to see you again. Drive safe.
I'm gonna have to take back some things I said about John Cusack. So John Cusack plays a hitman who has to go do a job in his hometown. And wouldn't you know it, at the exact same time, his high school reunion's gonna happen. And he vanished from his town 10 years ago without a trace, and no one knows where he's been since. His high school girlfriend, played by Minnie Driver, is especially angry. In the meantime, another hitman, played by Dan Aykroyd, wants to start a hitman union, and he wants John Cusack to join this union. However, John Cusack has refused, so while he's in his hometown, Dan Aykroyd has put out a hit on him. And so now, he's looking for his target, which he keeps putting off. These guys are trying to kill him, and he's trying to win back his high school girlfriend. All the meanwhile, trying to hide the fact that he is a hitman. So, you're in for a fun time. Now, when this movie first started, I had a little problem with it, because I thought John Cusack's character is a little too cool for me. He's a little too in control. That feeling went away very soon, because then I find out, oh, he's a sociopath and a weirdo. John Cusack really sells that he has a lot of psychological issues. When he's talking to a psychiatrist, it sells it so perfectly. You understand why he's a hitman. You get him. And, you know, you just understand him more and more as the movie goes on, because they just peel back more and more layers. The character is so much more layered than it has any right to be. And John Cusack is just fantastic in this movie. The way that he wins you over in this movie is so rewarding. And it's way more interesting than if you liked him right from the beginning. Minnie Driver is also great because you understand why she's resistant to John Cusack's character. The heartbreak of 10 years really shows in Minnie Driver's performance, and makes you just understand everything that she's thinking. When she gets mad at John Cusack, you're not thinking, oh, well, not this again, this is really frustrating. You're thinking, okay, that makes sense. Now, Alan Arkin is only in the movie for a little bit as John Cusack's psychiatrist, but he is amazing. See, Alan Arkin knows that John Cusack is a hitman, and that terrifies him. And so that gives you this more interesting and humorous dynamic between the two of those characters, and it's fantastic. And Alan Arkin's delivery is just hilarious every single time. Now, if John Cusack wasn't so great, Dan Aykroyd would absolutely steal this movie. Dan Aykroyd's character in this movie is kind of crazy, and if you know anything about Dan Aykroyd, you know he's kind of a crazy person himself. And there are all these weird little things that Dan Aykroyd says about ESP and all these other weird conspiracy things that you know came just from Dan Aykroyd. And all these weird ramblings make that character way more interesting than he ever would be if he was played by anyone else. It's a very unique performance in that it really shines through what Dan Aykroyd is and how Dan Aykroyd works for a movie. The movie also has a lot to say about growing up, about how you travel through life, about, where you were when you were younger and where you're going to be when you're older. The movie also has a lot to say about reunion culture, and especially some very cynical thoughts on reunions. And there was a lot there. There was a lot of emotions to be felt, and there's a lot of interesting moments, especially for a hitman. The fact that you put a hitman in like an average little setting like this just shows this turnaround that you wouldn't get from a normal type of movie like this. Because he is so closed off from the world, he is such a weirdo, that when, he starts connecting with these people, it's so much more satisfying. And the way they handled the action in this movie, it's not like a normal action comedy. It is violent. It is brutal violence. When people get shot, there's so much blood. Someone gets stabbed in the throat with a pen. It's violent. It really is, especially for a movie like this. And it's some really good action, too. There's lots of great little details and practical effects, and it's wonderful. It's great action. Oh, and this movie has such a great soundtrack, too. Just so many great songs from the 80s that are just, it's great. Grosse Pointe Blank is a very interesting movie that is very clever, has lots of great performances, great action, and lots of heartfelt moments. I'm gonna give Grosse Pointe Blank an A.
Here's your receipt.
Thanks.
Have a nice day.
You too.
What are you doing here?
I'm doing a double shift. What's it look like?
How long have you worked here?
A couple months.
Yeah? Is the manager here? Do you have a supervisor?
No,
How long have they worked here?
I'm not telling you.
Yeah? Where do you live?
I'm not telling you that either.
Where's your manager live? I used to... What are you doing here?
I work here.
What are you doing here?
I work here.
And how long have you worked here?
Only a couple months.
All right. What's done is done. Just forget about the whole thing.
You all right, man?
Sure.
Hello, this is Dr. Oatman. If you'd like to leave a message, I will get back to you shortly.
Dr. Oatman, please pick up. It's Martin Blank. I'm standing where my living room was, and it's not here because my house is gone, and it's an Ultimart.
You can never go home again, Oatman. But I guess you can shop there.
Oh.
Pick up! I know you're there, Oatman.